consequences and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic to the social, economic, and personal security of the Filipino people. And we are hereby adopting in principle the proposed NTF COVID-19 organizational structure in the National Action Plan to lessen the burden on the IATF and to streamline and decentralize the operations in addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Namely, A, the IATF will serve as the policy-making body of the operations, while the NTF COVID-19 shall serve as the operational command, to be headed by the Secretary of the National Defense. The National Incident Command will take charge of the day-to-day concerns and operations in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Letter B, the NDRRMC shall determine and identify the agencies that will belong to the new units of the proposed NTF COVID-19 organizational structure. Within the proposed organizational structure is 1, the Task Group on Response Operations, which will be led by the Department of Health, with support from other national government agencies to address enforcement and security, food security, disaster risk management, and labor issues, among others. Number 2, the Task Group on Resource Management and Logistics, which shall ensure that critical needs of all concerned agencies will be addressed and provided. Number 3, the Task Group on Strategic Communications, which will be in charge of communications. Letter C, NDRRMC, agencies identified by NDRRMC shall immediately designate an official with the rank of Undersecretary or Assistant Secretary to their assigned clusters. The aforementioned clusters shall report directly to the IATF to ensure proper coordination. Next, the Philippine Charity Sweepstakes Office, or PCSO, is hereby directed by the IATF to transfer 420,585,000 pesos to the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. The said amount shall be utilized to cover COVID-19 related packages of the PHIC. This amount corresponds to 50% of the remainder of the standby fund under Section 4 of EO number 201 per Section 1 of EO number 108. Next, the IATF recommends the actions proposed on the handling and disposal of the remains of COVID-19 confirmed cases and PUIs. The proposed actions are as follows. A, in handling the remains of COVID-19 cases, general infection precautions must be strictly observed to avoid further spread of the disease. B, LGUs shall designate funeral service facilities to handle the remains of COVID-19 cases and to provide possible financial assistance to cover the logistics, fuel, salary, and other expenses that will be incurred in the process. Letter C, LGUs and the DILG shall monitor and penalize funeral homes that refuse to provide logistics and transport of COVID-19 remains, including but not limited to refusal to pick up the remains, subject to the policies and guidelines of the aforementioned LGUs or DILG. Letter D, the DSWD shall allocate amounts for a funeral support fund allotted to the indigent confirmed COVID-19 cases and PUIs, regardless whether they are undergoing home quarantine or admitted in a public or private facility. DSWD shall allot 25,000 pesos per deceased for this purpose. Letter E, the LGU may release issuances or ordinances to put a price cap or impose a price freeze on funeral services located within their jurisdictions. Letter F, to reiterate, funeral services staff and personnel are granted exemptions from the imposed enhanced community quarantine. The said individuals may freely move and travel to ensure that the remains of deceased individuals will be given proper funeral services. Letter G, funeral companies are directed to provide transportation and or housing accommodations for funeral service staff. Next, guidelines, rules, and regulations of all LGUs declaring their respective community quarantine under paragraph A, item 2 of IATF Resolution number 12 must be compliant and consistent with the resolutions issued by the IATF. We have with us Secretary Ed Año, and he will be expounding on this later. Next, the IATF Resolution number 13, dated March 17, 2020, Section B, Item 1, is hereby amended and to be read as follows, and I quote, overseas Filipino workers, permanent residents of foreign jurisdictions, and stranded foreign nationals leaving for abroad through any of the ports in Luzon shall be allowed to leave the Philippines without any impediment, provided that this provision shall not be interpreted to allow outbound travel to jurisdictions where travel restrictions are in place, provided further that departing passengers may only be accompanied by not more than one person when traveling to any international port, provided finally that the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration is hereby directed to provide transportation services to OFWs intending to leave for abroad. End of quote. Lilinawin ko lang, no? Itong provision na to, inamend po natin para ma-lift po yung 24-hour rule for outbound foreign nationals. Dahil po marami po sa ating yung mga foreign nationals po ay nagrereklamo na dahil sa 24-hour rule, nung nakaraang resolution ay nahirapan po silang umalis ng ating bansa. So ang reminder lamang po natin para sa ating mga LGUs at sa lahat ng mga enforcers, hayaan na po natin, wag na natin pahirapan ang mga foreign nationals na makaalis po ng bansang Pilipinas. So nilift na po natin yung 24-hour limitation para po mas maging madali para sa kanila na lumuwas at umalis na po ng bansang Pilipinas. Next, stranded passengers, whether Filipino or foreign nationals, are also allowed to book hotels and seek temporary accommodations. For hotel and other forms of accommodations, single occupancy of rooms shall only be required for health workers and repatriated OFWs. Double occupancy of rooms shall be allowed for other individuals not falling within the aforementioned individuals, subject to guidelines of the DOH. Outbound and repatriated overseas Filipino workers and stranded foreign nationals shall be granted free and unimpeded access to and from national government facilities such as airports, ferries, bus terminals, etc., notwithstanding any LGU pronouncement to the contrary. The said free access shall extend to the vehicles carrying the aforementioned individuals in order for them to reach their final destination. No fee or any other requirement shall be imposed by LGUs in this regard. Ulitin ko po para sa ating mga LGUs, kung meron po kayo mga foreign nationals na stranded po sa inyong lokalidad, hayaan na po ninyo silang makaalis ng bansang Pilipinas. Sila po ay nakikipag-ugnayan na po sa kanilang mga embahada. Huwag na natin po sila pahirapan. Hayaan na po natin silang makaalis. Next, the OCD is hereby designated as the main coordinating body for all domestic donations relative to the management of COVID-19. The OCD, or Office of Civil Defense, is authorized to receive all domestic financial donations, which shall thereafter deposit the same to the Bureau of Treasury. The intended beneficiary agency shall then submit a request to the Department of Budget and Management to access such funds. Government agencies who likewise receive donations in kind are hereby directed to report the same to the OCD. The Presidential Communications Operations Office will make the necessary communications to this effect. International financial donations shall be evaluated and decided on by a technical working group comprised of the DFA, the OCD, DILG, DBM, and Department of Finance. Next. The IATF approves the following recommendations of the Department of Agriculture, subject to implementation of strict skeletal workforce and strict social distancing measures. Number 1, allow all farming and fishing activities to continue. Number 2, exempt all healthy farmers and farm workers, fishers, and agribusiness personnel. Number 3, allow agricultural supply stores and outlets and veterinary clinics to operate. Number 4, reiterate unhampered movement of all supplies used for agriculture, including food packaging and manufacturing materials. Number 5, reactivation of the Local Price Coordination Council, or LPCC, to strengthen the price monitoring and enforcement. Number 6, upscaling Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita in support for food availability, accessibility, and price stability. And number 7, support the DA program, Ahon Lahat Pagkain Sapat, or ALPAS, kontra COVID-19. Next, the IATF endorses the recommendation of the DTI in allowing the full operation of those engaged in the manufacture of medicines, medical supplies, devices, and equipment, including but not limited to suppliers of inputs, packaging, and distribution, to address the country's clear and present need for medical supplies and equipment. Next, the DTI shall enjoin concerned export enterprises that manufacture medicines, medical supplies, and equipment to supply at least 80% of their daily production for local or domestic use. And lastly, the IATF strongly encourages companies to process payrolls online. However, for those who cannot, one payroll manager for each company is allowed to travel on March 26 and 27 for the purpose of processing their company payrolls covering the period until April 15, 2020. Before wrapping up, gusto ko lang pong i-revisit yung sinabi ni Pangulong Duterte kagabi. Papasalamat po kaming lahat sa lahat na nag-contribute in our efforts to address the threat posed by this virus. Especially yung mga nasa front lines po natin, mga medical and health personnel led by our doctors, na kung saan 5 po sa kanila ang nagbigay ng ultimate sacrifice para sa ating bayan. Your nation owes all of you a debt that we hope we can repay in our lifetime. Aside from our health workers, si Pangulo ay nagpapasalamat din po sa lahat ng in-charge sa pag-secure ng ating safety, mga AFP, PNP, those who continue to report for work to ensure that essential services remain open to the public, tulad ng mga groceries, banks, food establishments, delivery services, yung mga nasa gobyerno, mga nasa pribadong sektor, lahat na nagsasakripisyo para sa bayan. Those who have extended aid and volunteered in their various capacities to help our people in this time of need. Mga kababayan, gera po ito. Digmaan na po ito. This is a war that will be fought in many fronts. And your cooperation and support are crucial in our efforts to beat COVID-19 and to save lives. Whatever our disagreements, whatever our misunderstanding, what is not debatable is this: the enemy is COVID-19. Yan po ang kalaban natin. And we have a greater chance of defeating the enemy if we work together and lift each other up rather than pull each other down. This is a time that calls for kindness, for compassion, for generosity, and for unity. Tandaan po natin ang sabi ni Pangulong Duterte. Kung magkanya-kanya po tayo, di tayo magtatagumpay. Together we can beat COVID-19. Together we heal as one. Kaya't ulitin ko po ang ating pakiusap sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan. Bahay muna, buhay muna. Maraming salamat po and God bless us all.
Secretary Anyo.
Okay na. Question and answer.
Okay. Maricel Halili of TV5.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Secretary Nograles, clarification lang po on the special power because I understand 18 million people yung target natin
Yes.
na mabigyan ng 5,000 to 8,000 pesos. So how do we plan to choose who will benefit from this financial assistance? Probably given na yung mga kasama dun sa 4Ps, but outside yung 4Ps, how do we choose the beneficiaries?
Meron po tayong working draft na-present nga po kahapon sa amin sa IATF. No? So we have this working draft. It's a joint memorandum circular. Pero kailangan po ng final pass, what you call it, final pass. So that's why yung technical working group will do a final pass today. Yan po yung kanilang assignment ngayon and then present it to us again tomorrow. So by tomorrow, hopefully, kung maaga kaming matapos, then we can make an announcement or whatever. Siguro kahit anong oras siguro kami matapos, then I'll probably make an announcement, no, mag-bulletin kahit wala ng questions. Because we also understand, no, the essence of doing this very quickly. So time is of the essence. This is an urgent need already. But ayoko kasi pangunahan, no, kasi there might be some slight changes. But just to let you know that there's a JMC already and we're just doing a one final pass just to make sure that everything is. So basically, dun sa kanilang presentation sa amin, yung technical working group, meron po tayong mga qualifications, no? So the qualifications are set, clearly defined kung sino po yung mag-qualify under this social amelioration package.
I understand it's not yet final, sir, no? But of course, given na yung target natin yung mga low income, but at least do we also have plans on how to assist yung mga minimum wage earners, lalo na yung medyo malaki yung family nila?
Like I said, ayoko pa unahan because the social amelioration package is not just DSWD. Meron din DOLE, meron din yung DA. So lahat po yan kasama dun sa isang buong social amelioration package. Pati DTI kasama rin po dito. So it's different agencies using their different programs. So may different targets sila. So obviously in the SWD, yun yung marginalized sector, di ba? But DOLE also has naman yung sa mga workers. So kanya-kanyang sektor, meron po tayong mga social amelioration package.
Thank you, sir. Secretary Anyo, on the side po of the ILG, how do you assess if the LGU is, adequate enough or inadequate in doing their jobs in implementing the community quarantine? Kasi it seems na ilang araw na po pero marami pa ring reklamo dun sa ilang mga cities.
First of all, no, we set the guidelines through the resolutions of the national guidelines through the IATF-EID. Especially for Luzon, that we are on enhanced community quarantine, nandoon na yung lahat ng guidelines. But sometimes na may mga LGUs na nag-overdo, especially doon sa pagpasok ng mga cargos. So, hinaharmonize namin lahat ito, including those in Mindanao and Visayas na meron silang general community quarantine. So, dapat hindi sila lalampas doon sa pinag-uutos ng national. Mabilis naman din ang kanilang adjustment. Meron kaming 24 hours emergency operation center sa DILG. Lahat ng mga complaints against LGUs ay dumarating doon. So real time din ay na-action na natin. And I'm glad to announce na yung mga LGUs na kinol natin yung attention, nag-a-adjust kagad sila. Alam mo kasi sa LGU, lalo na yung mga malalayong lugar, meron silang tendency to overdo kasi inisip nila yung welfare ng kanilang constituents, but not knowing ay sumusobra na. Like for example, yung cargos ayaw nilang papasukin. Yung iba dyan, pinapapasok yung cargos, ayaw naman papasukin yung crew. So paano tatakbo yung cargos? So ina-harmonize namin lahat yun, and we are open sa lahat ng mga complaints. At yun nga, wala namang LGUs na hindi nag-adjust. Lahat ay gusto rin makatulong at in accordance to the IATF guidelines.
Sir, some reports lang po from the ground. Doon daw po sa may daang hari sa Taguig, yung barangay captain mukhang naubos yung pasensya, namalo daw ng patpat doon sa mga residente na ayaw sumunod. Ano po yung violation ng barangay captain and
Well,
guidelines?
kapag mayroong complainant dyan, then imbestigahan natin. Siguro napanood niya yung video, YouTube doon sa India na pinapalo yung mga tao. Dapat naman kasi yung ating mga kababayan sumunod, no? Hindi lang naman buhay niya ito, buhay din ng kapwa natin yung maililigtas. So, para wala nang aberya, sumunod na lang tayo. This time, mag-i-strict lalo yung ating law enforcers at LGU sa pagpatupad ng home quarantine. Dadamihan namin yung mobile patrols at sisiguro din natin bumalik sa bahay nila yung mga wala naman talagang exemptions at walang importanteng gagawin. Kung mag-resist sila, then we will cause an arrest if necessary.
will you impose, sir, penalty like you said, arrest penalty dun sa mga residente na pasaway? Because some of the local officials are also asking if that's possible, considering na nakaka first, second warning na pero hindi pa rin daw sumusunod.
Well, actually, sa ating batas dito ngayon na pinirmahan ng Pangulo, meron na siyang penalty clause. No? Hanggang 2 months pwedeng ikulong, pwedeng magmulta ng hanggang 1 million pesos. Tapos yung sa revised penal code ng 151, no? Yung Article 151, kung mag-resist ka sa arrest, pwede ka rin ikulong. So, yan ay gagamitin natin kung kinakailangan.
Okay, next question, Christina Mendez of the Philippine Star.
To Secretary Anyo, sir, paano yung coordination sa national and local government doon sa pagmo-monitor ng mga those with the symptoms ng COVID? Kasi sa isang syudad, sir, may mag-asawa, nag-positive ang asawa. Ngayon, nang tinest yung wife, nagkaroon na siya ng pneumonia, pero pinauwi pa rin sa bahay. Kasi it defeats the purpose yung stay at home natin. Baka mas lalong maraming mahawaan, hindi lalong mag-accelerate ang COVID.
Well, unang-una, meron tayong Barangay Health Emergency Response Teams. Ang trabaho nito ay mag-monitor ng mga PUM at saka PUI At yung talagang meron ng symptoms, dapat talaga yan ay, lalo na yung severe at saka acute, ay dapat madala natin ito sa hospital. Now, yung mga asymptomatic at ito ay under PUI dahil ito ay galing sa ganitong bansa o kaya ito ay nakahalubilo ng isang positive. Meron din tayong inutos sa ating LGUs na meron dapat silang tinatawag nating isolation unit. No? It could be a house, it could be a building, it could be an apartment na kung saan ay doon natin ilalagay dapat yung mga PUI natin at PUM. Ngayon, yung ibang LGUs ay nakikita nila yung mga schools na pwedeng gamitin na quarantine area. So hindi yan automatic. Kailangan mayroon siyang pahintulot galing sa DepEd. Meron siyang dapat MOA. Kasi kung ginamit mo yan tapos nasira naman, sino ang sasagot niyan? So hindi siya automatic kailangan ay may pahintulot. Ganun din yung CHED. No? Meron tayong mga universities, colleges, pwedeng magamit na quarantine area, pero hindi mo pa pwedeng automatic yan. Kailangan may pahintulot ang CHED at saka DepEd.
Pero sir, ang sitwasyon ngayon na sir pag kailangan mo pang pumirma ng MOA, magpaalam,
No, mabilis lang yan.
identify ng mga areas.
Within the day, within hours. Actually, hindi naman diretso sa may district supervisor, merong regional supervisor. Sa level lang nila yan, may pwede na nila magawa doon.
Sir, kanina si Secretary Nograles in-announce din yung mga regulations on funeral and wake services ng mga fatalities ng COVID.
Yes.
Sir, ano bang worst case scenario na nakikita nyo at gaano kabilis na ang mga mamamatay?
Well, ngayon ay nagpalabas din tayo ng memo circular sa ating mga local government units na kailangan ang ating mga LGU ay merong nakahandang funeral na merong capability ng cremation. Kasi kapag COVID positive deceased persons or cadaver, dapat ay ma-cremate natin ito within 12 hours. Kung siya naman ay isang Muslim, dapat ito ay ilagay sa isang airtight sealed bag at within 12 hours at the presence of an imam who will do the Muslim rites, dapat mailibing din siya kagad to the nearest Muslim cemetery.
Okay.
Sir, is there a plan to expand yung enhanced community quarantine to Visayas and Mindanao at this point?
Sa ngayon ay ang ating pinakamaraming cases talaga ay nasa Luzon, no? Lalo na dito sa Metro Manila. But in Visayas and Mindanao na naka-general community quarantine, meron ding mga LGUs doon na na-declare na ng enhanced community quarantine. Depende sa numbers ng positive cases sa kanilang lugar. Ang kailangan lang naman dyan dapat ay mayroon siyang consultation with DILG and DOH. DOH because nasa kanya yung mga data. At ito naman ay ating sinusuportahan. Sa ngayon ay hindi pa naman kailangang buong Visayas at Mindanao para tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung kanilang normal na buhay, lalo na yung sa trabaho at food production. But if there is a necessity and depending on the development, i-assess ng IATF yan.
So how about yung going beyond 1 month, yung lockdown in Luzon?
We're now on, I think, on the 9th day. No? So far, ay okay naman yung takbo ng ating lockdown or enhanced community quarantine. We assess the performance of our LGUs. Nakita din naman natin na okay ang kanilang performance. Of course, ang nakita nating problema, yung kakulangan ng ating test kits na ina-address naman ng DOH. At saka, siyempre, yung ating social amelioration na ipafinalize naman natin para masigurado natin yung, especially yung tinatawag nating informal economy sector. No? Ito yung tinatawag natin ng mga no work, no pay. Ito yung mga informal workers, yung mga nagtitinda ng sampagita, nagtitinda ng balot, yan kailangan yan ay mabibigyan natin ng kaya nga doon sa batas na to, 18 million families, ay sakop sila doon, yung tinatawag nating informal economy sector. Sisiguraduhin natin na mabigyan sila ng amelioration. At ang gaganap dito ng papel na to para sigurado makarating ay of course DSWD at saka LGUs. So ngayon ay pag napanalize natin ang Joint Memorandum Circular ay ibababa na natin itong mga tinatawag nating assistance sa ating mga kababayan.
Okay. Thank you, Tina. Next, Mela Lesmoras of PTV.
Hi for Cabsec Nograles po. Sir, kasama kagabi si Pangulong Duterte sa IATF meeting. Paano po yung mga naging assessment niya so far sa enhanced community quarantine? At may mga particular po ba siyang naibilin din sa inyo na gusto pa niyang maging ma-implement under ECQ po?
Well, unang-una sa lahat, nagpapasalamat siya na naipasa na ngayon itong batas na ito. At dahil nga po dito ay mas maging madali na lang po para sa amin yung implementation, no? At ang panlaban natin against COVID-19. So, prinesenta din po namin sa kanya yung National Action Plan. Sumasang-ayon naman siya at pumayag naman siya, no, dun sa National Action Plan natin. So, ang makikita natin ngayon, gawa nung dahil may batas na po tayo, mamamanage na po natin yung ating resources and logistics and response. So kung titingnan mo po yung National Action Plan po natin, two major task groups po yan, resource and response. So based dito sa batas na ito, if a farm out na namin sa task group on resource, based sa batas na to, ano yung mga angkop na provisions ng batas na to under sa resource. Tapos kung ano rin ang angkop dun sa para sa response. And then, syempre, ilalatag na ng bawat task group, no, kung ano yung mga resources available. Tapos ilalatag din ng response group ano yung responses, no, or actions na gagawin, no, based sa batas na to. But because meron na po ito, mas madali na po tayo mag-source out. May resources na po tayo, lahat ng ating mga pangangailangan ay matutugunan na. Kaya yun, lubos na nagpapasalamat si Pangulo doon at syempre yung ano nga, yung sa frontliners nga. Ang syempre nalulungkot siya na may mga frontliners po tayo na nagiging casualties, no. At we wanna work on this effectively in a way na kung maaari, mabawasan natin yung mga casualties at dadami yung mga recoveries and kung anong mga resources ang kinakailangan natin para panlaban sa COVID-19 ay agad nating ma-deploy at ma-distribute.
Okay.
And for thank you, sir. Kay Sec Anyo lang po, problems on ground naman, sir. Kasi yung iba nating mga kababayan, may mga nalulungkot pa rin kasi hindi sila nakakatanggap ng food packs from their LGUs. Sir, just to set the record straight, ano po ba ang bilin ng DILG? Lahat po ba ng residente kailangan makatanggap nito? At kung meron po ba kayong itinakdang deadline sa mga LGU na by this time kailangan nabigyan na lahat, ano po ba yung mga bilin natin?
Unang-una, no, sa mga food packs. Ang LGU ay because of the public health emergency and the declaration of the state of calamity, may authority na sila na gamitin yung kanilang calamity fund, especially yung quick reaction fund. So dito, pwede na nilang makabili sila ng mga food packs para maibigay sa kanilang mga constituents. Siyempre, ang unahin natin dito yung mga indigent families. Yung mga well-to-do, wag naman tayong mag-expect na tatanggap tayo sapagkat mas unahin natin yung mga nangangailangan. So, ang munisipyo at ang probinsya, meron silang mga respective calamity fund and QRF. Ngayon, kung halimbawa, kinapos na sila, pwede silang humingi ng tulong sa DSWD. Kailangan muna, magamit muna nila yung hawak nila bago sa national. Kasi ang national, siyempre, ang uunahin niya yung mga nangangailangan. So, we are reminding actually all LGUs to utilize their funds now and distribute food packs to all who are needing this food. So, kung meron mang hindi nakakatanggap, ay pagbigay alam sa aming action centers and numbers. So we will call the attention of the LGUs.
Okay. Thank you, Mela. Okay, live din po natin kasama si Yusek Vergere mula sa DOH. At ang susunod na tanong ay manggagaling kay Joseph Morong ng GMA7 at live naman via Skype. Joseph?
Hi, sir. Good afternoon, Secretary Nograles and Secretary Anyo. Sir, my first question is, how much money do we stand to access under this law, sir?
Ang alam ko, I wasn't part of the debate, no? But ang alam ko about 200, almost, in fact, 400 kung i-add mo lahat-lahat, no? Almost 400 billion kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Basta parang sinabi, during the debates, hindi ko na nasundan yung after na kasi we had that task force meeting also. But I know there's a 200 billion, then there's another 100 something, so yun.
So sabihin ko, 200 to 400 billion na pera, no?
Yeah,
Sir,
parang something
okay.
like that.
Ano po yung magiging immediate effect ng law because you will have this fund readily available to you, 200 billion to 400 billion. Ano yung pwede nyo nang pagalawin in terms of procuring mga testing kits o mga ano ba yung mga pwede nyo nang gawin na pwede nyo nang bilhin?
Well, first of all, yung sa social amelioration package, no, na gaya ng sinabi ko, fina-finalize na lang natin yung JMC. Pag itong JMC ay na-approve na ng IATF at mapirmahan na ng iba't ibang mga ahensya na kasama dito sa Joint Memorandum Circular, then we'll launch it immediately, no? We will immediately implement this, and this is nationwide basically. At ang target po dito is 18 million families, no? Sec?
Yes, 18
million families ang target nito. So malaking chunk ng pera mapupunta dito, no? And that's food assistance plus yung cash assistance na ibibigay ng gobyerno sa lahat ng mga marginalized at yung mga kababayan natin na nangangailangan. So for social amelioration package, that's one. Next, gaya ng sinabi ko, yung ating tasking now is the response task group and the task group on resource and logistics, no, resource management. So ngayon, ang resource management task group will now continue to identify yung mga needs na kinakailangan ng different agencies, including yung response group. So whether that is more hospitals, more beds, more rooms, more ventilators, more PPEs, more masks, more testing kits, lahat po yan i-evaluate at ilalatag na nila lahat yan, ano bang needs natin based doon sa nakikita natin on the ground. PUMs, PUIs, and all of these patients and COVID-19 positives, no? And then lahat ng mga pangangailangan ng frontliners natin. So ilalatag nila lahat 'yan. And then because they're the ones in charge of the resource, then we'll work out a mechanism kung saan mare-report agad sa amin sa IATF or mare-report agad kay Pangulo or sa kinaukulang kagawaran or ahensya or departamento ng gobyerno para purchase agad, gamitin agad ang pondo, tapos bigay agad sa resource management, tapos deploy agad, no, for distribution. Not only in NCR but Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. So dapat mabilis ang action ng lahat yan. We are in a state of calamity. We are in a state of emergency. So itong structure na inapprove po ng IATF, this is the structure that is used whenever the country gets hit by a national calamity or when we are in a state of national emergency. So, meron po tayong protocols dito, nakalatag na po yung parang procedures for this. And so, when we approved it, timing lang din yung pag-approve nito, pagpirma ni Pangulo ng batas ng Bayanihan Act. So, that all goes hand in hand.
Sir, can I bring you to April 12, no? After na kunyari ililift na natin siya, what would we have achieved by April 12?
What we would have achieved by April 12 is we would have been able to contain the virus. We would have been able to probably identify what communities are negative, no? So siguro we want to see more communities na negatives, na walang COVID-19 cases, and kung saan man ang mga communities na meron or kung meron man mga COVID-19 ay na-isolate na po natin sila sa communities. And we're already focusing on treatment na and for their recovery. So basically, the victory that we want to happen is hindi na siya mag-spread. There are hopefully no new cases happening. And just like in China or Wuhan, na kung saan wala nang new cases and then nakafocus na sila sa treatment.
Okay. Sir, last 3 questions. And the reason why I ask that is, yung law says 3 months yung effectivity ng powers ni Presidente. And then on the other hand, and another thing is you have 200 to 400 billion at your disposal. My question is, are we operating on the assumption na hindi natin kayang i-lift yung quarantine by April 12?
May I answer the question?
Sagutin daw ni Sec. Anyo.
First of
Yes,
all,
please,
what do we expect to achieve after 1 month of quarantine? When we start, let me remind everyone that we are always one step ahead of others, no? Like Spain, Italy, even US. If we do not implement draconian measures like this, we would be ending like at least half of Italy's condition now because of the exponential growth of this spread of virus. So po pwedeng by the 5 digits na tayo. Probably baka aabot tayo sa, because remember the modeling na ginawa ng WHO, pag wala tayong ginawa na anumang measures, in 3 to 5 months, we will have 75,000 positive cases with 3% mortality and about 5% severe or serious conditions ng positive patients. So, kung hindi natin ginawa ito, baka ganun yung aabutin natin. So, ang ating objective is really flatten the curve. Flatten the curve so that we can still, within our capacity to treat positive cases and serious cases of positive patients. Because pag dumating yung point na wala tayong capacity, katulad ngayon sa Italy na nag-surrender na almost yung government, ay ganun ang mangyayari sa atin. Na wala na tayong, kumbaga papabayaan na lang nating mamatay yung mga tao dyan because hindi na natin kaya, even pati paglibing. So, and because we are not a very rich country like other countries na kayang mag-massive testing ng kits nila, testing kits nila, na like South Korea, they can conduct 15,000 tests a day. The solution for us is to really to enforce the enhanced community quarantine so that everybody will distance and will keep himself locked inside the homes. Social distancing, yung ginawa ng Italy, it did not work. Why? Because the people will always violate social distancing, even here in our country. Naka-lockdown na tayo, may sumisingit pa rin. So, draconian measures ang kailangan natin para mag-flatten ang curve and ma-contain natin, if not eliminate the spread of the virus.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
So I'll rephrase lang the question. No? Can we, I'll just rephrase my question, JB. Can we confidently say we can lift the quarantine by April 12th?
That we have to assess, but I'm confident that we can. But of course, it doesn't mean that's the end of the spread. We have to still continue the practice of strict social distancing. Importante talaga yan. For other...
Okay.
Yeah, for other island, Luzon, and Visayas, Mindanao, importante social distancing kung hindi sila naka-lockdown.
Alright. So just last two questions. Ano po yung plano ng IATF sa Holy Week? Will you be giving regular updates still kahit Holy Week na?
Di ata kami exempted sa trabaho kahit Holy Week.
Parang
Of
dami
course,
kami dun, sir.
buhay ng mga kababayan natin ang nakasalalay dito. So if we need to work, we will work. Walang Holy Week breaks po sa amin. Actually, walang breaks ang IATF.
Sir, okay, last question, sir. Okay, sir, last question lang. To the public, no? Yung ibang nagtatanong, paano pag nagkasakit ako, libre ba yung pagamot sa COVID?
Libre daw po ba ang paggamot
Yeah.
ng COVID?
Nandito sa batas na sasagutin sila. So kasama yung sa batas na pinasa po ng Kongreso at pinirmahan ni Pangulo na they will be covered.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph Morong of GMA 7. Our next question ay kasama rin po ulit natin si Yusek Vergere ng DOH. At ang tanong na ito mula kay Rose Novenario ng Hataw ay para ho yata sa DOH. Hihingi ba ng tulong ang Pilipinas sa Cuba dahil matagumpay nilang nalabanan ang COVID-19 at nakahanda namang ibahagi ang kanilang paraan sa ibang bansa? Ano na ang nangyari sa plano ni Pangulong Duterte noong 2016 na sumailalim sa pagsasanay sa Cuba ang ilang opisyal ng DOH? Maraming salamat.
Yes, good afternoon, Secretary Nograles and Secretary Anyo at sa ating mga partners sa media. Ito pong Cuba na pinag-aaralan natin since noong 2016 nga po, dahil ang Cuba is a good health system at dito po pinapractice yung iba't ibang mga voucher system at iba't iba pang mga interventions po para maging maayos ang isang health system. Hindi lang po Cuba ang nagkakaroon ng magandang response ngayon para dito sa COVID-19. Marami pa po tayong ibang bansa na gumagawa rin ito. And of course, the Philippines is very much open to partner with other countries so that we can learn from them. Actually, some of our interventions ngayon na ginagawa natin ay galing din po sa mga eksperyensya ng ibang bansa na ating ina-adapt para po mas maging evidence-based po ang ginagawa natin and hopefully it will be effective for our country.
Okay. Isa pang question, sir. Ano raw po ang reaksyon, mula ito kay Rose Novenario ng Hataw, ano raw po ang reaksyon ng palasyo sa pangamba ng NEDA na mararanasan ng bansa ang social at political crisis kapag tumagal pa ang lockdown?
Kaya nga napaka-importanteng matapos na po natin itong digmaan na to, itong gera na to kontra sa COVID-19. We have to end this quickly, we have to end this very soon, no? Kasi the longer it takes, may repercussions po yan para sa ating mga kababayan, para sa ating ekonomiya. So, kailangan matapos natin to. But again, hindi natin magagawa po ito kung wala pong kooperasyon ng bawat isa. At kung meron pong nagva-violate ng mga guidelines, kung meron pong pinapahirapan ng gobyerno, hindi nagko-cooperate sa gobyerno, then it gives us more problems and it extends, no, itong problema din ng COVID-19. So, gaya ng lagi naming sinasabi at laging sinasabi ni Sec Anyo, no, kailangan maintindihan, maunawaan natin itong kalaban natin, no. So, sabihin natin, nasa gera, nasa digmaan nga na tayo. The first thing you have to do is learn your enemy, know your enemy, no. Learn how it moves, how it operates. Gaya nga sinasabi lagi ni Sec Anyo, itong virus na ito, hindi mabubuhay ito kung walang host. Diba? So kung isipin nyo na kalaban natin itong virus na to, huwag natin bigyan ng paraan ang virus na makapaghanap po siya ng host. So kaya po tayo nagsa-social distancing. Pero kung hindi tayo magsa-social distancing at mananatili po tayong mga pasaway, ang mangyari niyan, makakahanap na naman ng host ang virus, and so on and so forth. Kung hayaan po natin na hindi makapaghanap ng host ang virus, tapos lahat ng mga infected po natin ay pagagalingin natin, mamamatay din yung virus eventually. That's how you defeat your enemy. So dun sa sinabi ng NEDA, Ang mensahe po natin is that is the reason why we must end this war quickly and as soon as possible.
Ang susunod na tanong mula kay Catherine Valente of Manila Times for DOH, can we ask if there are plans to purchase more COVID-19 test kits, perhaps from South Korea? South Korea is among the world's worst affected countries, but one reason why it might have a higher number of infections than other countries is its aggressive approach to testing. It has already tested 300,000 people there. May plan po ba ang government to provide free and easy access to testing for anyone, not only for prominent and influential individuals and their families?
Yes, sir. No? Unang-una, may plano ba ang ating gobyerno para tayo ay bumili ng COVID testing kits? Meron po tayong plano. No? We cannot rely on donations for the rest of the time that we are responding to this crisis. Tayo po ngayon ay tumitingin na kung ano po ang mga compatible na testing kits para sa ating mga makina, sa ating mga laboratorio dito sa Pilipinas, para tayo ay makapag-procure din, considering that we will be given a additional budget for us to procure items or supplies that we will need for this response. So, oo po, tayo ay bibili ng ating testing kits. Meron na pong 8 commercially available, approved by FDA na testing kits at maaari po natin pagpilian doon kung ano ang kailangan natin sa ating mga makina dito sa ating laboratorio. Pangalawa po, yung idea po ng mass testing. Ito po ay marami na po ang nagtatanong ukol dito. Ang sagot po natin dyan ay hindi pa po sa ngayon ang mass testing sa Pilipinas. Unang-una po, ang ating mga testing kits, bagaman meron na po tayong 100,000, may parating pa po, hindi pa rin po yan enough to serve para po mag-mass testing tayo lahat. And always tandaan natin, ang experience po ng ibang bansa, katulad po ng mga karatig bansa natin, ang mass testing po ay ginawa, pinili lahat ng mga may simptomas at yun ang itinest. Tapos yun po ang in-isolate. Kung sakasakali tayong gagawa ng ganito, ito po ang gagawin natin, maybe pagka sufficient ng resources natin para mas efficient po ang ginagawa natin. So for now, mass testing, wala pa po yan sa ating konsiderasyon dahil po sa kakulangan ng ating mga capacity and of course, yun pong ating laboratorio. So tandaan po natin, pag gumawa tayo ng testing, kung may kits man tayo, kung wala naman pong laboratorio yung gagawa. Kaya nga po, kinukumpleto natin ngayon na magkaroon ng extension laboratory sa buong bansa para hindi lang po dito sa Maynila, hindi lang sa Luzon, dapat doon po rin sa Visayas and Mindanao, we can extend our capacity. Pag na-stabilize na po natin ito lahat sa laboratories natin, and then we can now decide if we can do mass testing or not.
Okay. From Reuters for CABSEC and Yusek Vergere, what is the total bed capacity, available workforce of hospitals designated as COVID-19 facilities? Do they have adequate inventory of ventilators, respirators, PPEs, etc.? Do we plan to add more facilities given that some private hospitals have already exceeding capacity? Does he have or you have an updated data on how many people have been tested for COVID? Thank you.
Yes, is it for me?
Yes,
meron
Yusek.
po tayo ngayon, bigay as an initial inventory, no? I'd just like to make this clear. Kung nag-umpisa na po tayo ng mga ating referral hospitals para tumanggap po ng mga kaso ng may COVID, no? And they are severe cases and those of the vulnerable population, ang kinocommit po ngayon ng UPPGH ay hindi pa ho buong ospital. Pag nag-umpisa po tayo, this is going to be progressive kasi po kailangan natin intindihin na ang mga ospital na to, meron din po silang existing patients na naka-admit sa kanila ngayon. So maaari po na during the course of how many weeks, saka po tayo magkakaroon ng complete capacity of the whole hospitals that we are saying na itinatalaga para po maging referral hospital. So ngayon po, ang ating UPPGH has already committed 130 beds. 100 for those not requiring critical services, and then they have 30 na ICU rooms. For Lung Center of the Philippines, dati pa ho nag-umpisa yan, and they have dedicated at the initial 40 beds specific for COVID-19. Ito naman pong Jose N. Rodriguez Memorial Hospital natin, pina-fast track po natin ang pagkukumpleto nila ng kanilang mga kailangan para po makapag-umpisa rin sila. Tinitignan pa po natin kung paano natin masisiguro na appropriate po yung care na ibibigay natin galing dito po sa Jose and Rodriguez Memorial Hospital. We are also looking at other hospitals now para po madagdagan ang numero ng ating referral hospitals, especially in other regions of the country.
Thank you, Yusek, for CABSEC and Secretary Anyo from Francis of Daily Tribune. Cordillera farmers are reportedly throwing away their products due to lack of buyers dahil sa ini-impose na checkpoints. One Facebook user was even quoted as saying na iba yung utos sa taas, EO at SOP against sa actual na nangyayari on the ground. Pwede raw kumuha ng pass pero paano pag di raw inonor kasi nakatrike daw? Paano raw kung nauna ang lockdown kaysa guidelines ng pass? Paano kung walang internet si farmer?
Kapag farmers, kasama yan sa ating resolution, they are exempted. Kasi ngayon, tag-ani ngayon no? Kailangan din natin ng food production, kailangan natin ng food, kaya in-exempt natin yung farmers. No, tell us kung anong LLG yung sumusuway niyan and we will do appropriate actions. No? We also disseminated this to our PNP. Sila naman yung nagmaman ng checkpoints. So yung mga farmers, yung mga plantation tenders, exempted sila because we need the food.
Okay. Sir, follow-up po from Francis. May report na may pulis sa MPD na nag-test daw positive sa coronavirus. May financial assistance ba o tulong na matatanggap ang mga pulis na nasa frontline din in case sila ay tamaan ng sakit?
Yes, on top of the yung nandito sa batas na sinasabi, meron din tayong tinatawag na Comprehensive Social Benefits Program na kung saan ang mga men in uniform ay binibigyan natin ng kaukulang tulong kapag in line of duty. So ito naman pagkakasakit nila ay in line of duty dahil sila yung nagsasagawa ng mga checkpoint dito. Ibibigyan natin lahat ng assistance na pwedeng ibigay sa kanila.
Thank you, sir. We have another caller from Melo Acuña of Asia Pacific Daily. Sir Melo?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
I hope everyone's well. I have a question for Secretary Nograles. China sent doctors to Italy and Argentina, and a video conference was held yesterday between Filipino and Chinese doctors at Chinese General Hospital. Is there a possibility that we could accommodate Chinese doctors to help us in our fight against the virus? That's the first question.
Yeah, oo naman, kung saan man tayo makakuha ng tulong, we obviously welcome any help that we can get from other nations, especially those who were successful in battling COVID-19. So kung saan man tayo makakahingi ng tulong at saan man it's most welcome. That's why we stick to the foreign policy of the president, and that's been very successful, that we are friends to all, enemies to none. Yan po yung stand natin, and we hope that we can count on our friends, especially in this hour of need.
Yeah, thank you very much. For Secretary Anyo, Secretary, good afternoon. I received word from the National Democratic Front that they will also declare their own ceasefire in compliance with the suggestion or the call of the United Nations Secretary General. How does the DILG look at this gesture from the National Democratic Front? Thank you.
Well, first of all, our government declared unilateral ceasefire because we want to focus to fight this COVID-19. But of course, we assume a strong defensive stance also to thwart any attack that would be coming from the CPP-NPA. And we do not really expect kung anong magiging action nila because, the first ay nagparinig pa si CISO na it's not yet time, ganito. We don't really care kung ano yung action nila because we are really focused on fighting this COVID-19 and aim at saving lives of our Filipino people. Ngayon na nag-declare sila, well, that's a good development, but as I said, we don't really care kung anong action nila. Basta tayo ay nakapokus dito sa COVID-19 and we are committing our AFP and PNP to concentrate on this fight.
Yeah, thank you very much. For the Department of Health, I'm just as interested as anybody else how DOH monitors the conditions in the island provinces like Masbate and Catanduanes. How sure are we that there are no PUIs or PUMs who may need medical assistance? And should there be test kits in these areas, how would the RITM, receive all these specimens considering the lockdown and there are no flights between these island provinces? Thank you.
Yes, sir. Currently, we have our regional offices, sir, in the different regions of the country, whereby we have direct coordination with our provincial health offices and our, of course, city health offices and municipal health offices. So if ever there would be patients under investigation or persons under monitoring within their respective jurisdictions, they are being monitored, they are being taken care of. Cared of by our regions, our provinces, and our cities and municipalities. With regards to laboratories, we already have opened our subnational laboratory in Davao and in Vicente Soto, which is in Cebu. So if ever they would be collecting specimens from their constituents, they need to send it to a much nearer place now, unlike before that they have to send it to RITM. So they send it to Vicente Soto or to SPMC in Davao. We are set to open our Western Visayas Medical Center, also our Bicol Public Health Laboratory soon, maybe by early part of next week. So we are starting to extend our laboratory capacity and hopefully for the other regions we will have more. And we will be able to extend more in the different laboratories, like private laboratories, so that we can have more access to this testing.
Okay.
Yeah, Secretary Nograles, one last point, if you will. With the emergency powers granted the President, has the IATF considered nationalizing the Department of Health because it's been devolved to the local government units?
Hindi pa naman namin pinag-uusapan yan. Siyempre, from a management perspective, since devolved po yan sa LGUs, mas mabilis din po yung response ng mga LGUs, no? Kasi naka-devolve nga sa kanila. And in terms of accountability and responsibility, ultimately, they're also responsible and accountable to their own constituents. So, from a management perspective, I don't think hindi pa naman kailangan yan. Right now, the LGUs are quick naman to respond.
Okay.
Yeah. Salamat po doon sa inyong pagliliwanag tungkol sa mga magsasaka. Katanungan po yun mula sa Camarines Sur. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you, Melo Acuña. Ang susunod na tanong mula kay Belia Cariaso of Bandera for Secretary Anyo. Since we are in crisis, pwede bang ma-force ang isang mayor to resign from her post even if she is elected, if she fails to do her job, or at least appoint a competent official to do the job for her?
Yes, of course. That's within the power of our president. If a mayor or even a governor abuse this authority or defy an order, we can immediately put him under preventive suspension for 60 days. That's the power of the president, even before the investigation is conducted. Or the president can also dismiss any local chief executive kung kinakailangan. So, yan ay nasa prerogative lahat ng ating Pangulo. Kaya, alam natin na mayroong sapat na kapangyarihan ng Pangulo. Pero sa ngayon, nakikita naman natin, lahat ng LGU ay sumusunod, mga local chief executives. Nasosobrahan pa nga ng initiative, kaya binabawasan natin eh.
Okay, sir, another phone-in question. May assistant din ba for middle-income households? Yung special powers good for 3 months at yung low-income households lang ang may 5K to 5,000 pesos na matatanggap. Marami din naman daw na middle-income families ang affected ng work stoppage at ECQ dahil sa COVID.
We will be extending assistance but hindi siguro in terms of cash or food assistance, no. So there are other ways to provide assistance, no, tulad ng mga yung sa mga utang na pwedeng yung palugit dun sa utang, 'di ba, yung grace period, these things are also important, no, and these things matter also. So anyway, constant naman yung aming pag-assess ng situation. Kasama din sa pag-assess yung anong maitutulong natin sa ating mga kababayan. Pero syempre, unahin natin yung mga marginalized, yung mga nangangailangan, the impoverished communities, those who are in utmost needs, no. And then tingnan natin, no, because it's really a matter of budget, and it's really a matter of knowing also saan ba tayo makakatulong sa which sector, no. So sa middle income sector, there are other ways also that government can help you. If it's not food assistance or cash assistance, it's in other ways that we can help solve your problems habang naka-quarantine po tayong lahat.
Sir, from Jen Kabiling of Manila Bulletin, under the National Action Plan, will the government deploy more troops to assist with medical care, build temporary hospitals, deliver food, and enforce quarantine? How much budget is allocated to implement this program? Will the government expand the strict quarantine rules if disease outbreak escalates outside Luzon?
Yung pag-deploy ng Armed Forces of the Philippines to help, obviously, we need all the manpower, all the warm bodies, all the extra hands that we can get, no? Lahat ng resources. Siyempre. So lahat po 'yan tinitingnan natin. Kaya nga it's really a matter of resource management. Titingnan natin anong resources ang kinakailangan, tapos kung may gaps diyan, then we will know, sige, sa gap na to, sino pwede mag-fill in. So pwede ba mag-fill in ng AFP dito? Pwede ba mag-fill in ng reservists dito? Pwede ba mag-fill in ng mga volunteers dito? So it's really a resource management, programming the resources and looking for ano resources ang kailangan, saan ang gaps, and then filling up the gaps. So we have to work very fast, and we have to think very fast, and we have to decide very fast, no. So speed talaga is key here sa laban na ito.
Sir, from Sam Medanilla of Business Mirror, ilan pong BPOs and export-oriented firms ang nakapag-submit ng alternative work arrangements before March 22 deadline? I-allow na po ba yung mga nakapag-submit to continue their operations for the durations of the enhanced community quarantine? Pangalawa, may decision na po ba ang IATF on the proposal of PAGCOR to lift the suspension in the operation of POGOs, electronic junkets, and VIP gambling?
Dun sa first question, that's something that's better answered by Secretary Mon Lopez of DTI. But he's been on top of that, on top of the situation, no, from day one. So mas maigi siguro si Sec Mon ang sasagot dyan. On the second question, no, we have not been discussing POGOs or anything about POGOs sa IATF.
Still prohibited.
It's still prohibited. It's still prohibited.
Okay, sir, follow-up from Sam. May estimate na po ba ang government sa impact of COVID-related quarantine sa revenue collection of the government for the first quarter?
Wala pa. Hindi pa, or at the very least, I know our economic managers are doing the estimates on that, but it hasn't been reported to the IATF yet. No, so the economic team, the economic cluster is they've been doing their part naman in this war against COVID-19. So they're doing their jobs naman po as far as the economic assessment of the impact of COVID-19 at ano yung mitigation efforts. Tapos nire-report na lang po nila sa amin yung mga programs and policies na pwede namin gawin to mitigate any adverse economic impact ng COVID-19 sa ekonomiya ng bansa.
Sir, may follow-up si Joyce Balancio of DZMM on POGOs. Na-discuss na ba yung recommendation ng PAGCOR na pwedeng payagan na yung gambling arrangements na pwedeng mag-run from home And if yes, ano ra po ang guidelines sa kanila?
Wala, hindi namin. As far as IATF is concerned, bawal pa po yung POGO at any form has not yet been bawal pa, prohibited pa, and we have not discussed any other alternative whatever about POGO. It's not on the table.
From Pia Gutierrez of ABS-CBN, many establishments are still implementing no mask, no entry policy. Paano yung walang pambili ng mask? May mga establishments din daw are refusing entry to people without barangay quarantine pass. Hindi naman daw lahat ng barangay nag-i-issue ng barangay quarantine pass.
I will answer the question. Number one, these days talagang advisable talaga ay nakamask ang ating mga tao at dapat 6 feet na yung ating social distancing. But it should not be a requirement. Kung walang mask, as long as naka-social distancing, dapat i-accommodate yan. Dito rin sa mga supermarket, palengke, I'm advising all LGUs to lift yung tinatawag natin window hours for marketing or buying, because kapag naglagay ka ng window hours, kinukumpul-kumpul mo lang yung mga tao lalo. So it should be 12 hours and observing strictly the social distancing. So dapat ganon. Yung barangay quarantine pass, there is no hard rule. No? Merong LGU na nag-issue at meron ding hindi. As long as nakukontrol nila yung movement ng kanilang constituents. This is a good control measure actually. Pero kung ito naman ay magpo-force sa mga tao na pipila at pupunta doon sa barangay, hindi rin ito advisable. May ibang LGUs na inihahatid yung quarantine pass sa bawat bahay ay okay yon sapagkat hindi na nagkakaroon ng reason for people to get out. But with or without quarantine pass, ang tao ay dapat payagang bumili ng pagkain kapag siya ang representative ng pamilya para sa pagkuha ng pagkain.
Sir, follow-up from Pia Gutierrez. Pakitanong din po what they intend to do with standoff between LGUs and OWA who are transporting OFWs repatriated from various countries. OFWs need to observe 14-day self-quarantine, but since no domestic flights, they are unable to leave Luzon. So OWA looking for facilities to house them temporarily. Some LGUs where these facilities are located don't want to accept unless the ILG gives a written order.
Yes, we are working out. We are working with the OWA sa mga arriving OFWs natin. Ang sinasabi natin sa OWA na find the place. If you found the place and then inform us, and then we will help you negotiate with the LGU to allow the quarantine of our arriving OFWs. Okay naman. Mayroon mga initially ay siyempre, alam mo naman, if you are a local chief executive of your town, your first tendency really is to protect your own people. And there are a lot of people coming from outside, siyempre, hanggat maaari ayaw mo. But pag makausap natin, and it is really a patriotic duty to help our fellow Filipinos, pumapayag naman sila. Now, kung mayroon pang mga ibang LGUs, then the DILG will step in and we will resolve any issue.
Thank you, sir. From Tricia Terada of CNN Philippines, since permado na yung Bayanihan Act, automatic na po ba yung declaration of state of national emergency o kailangan pa po ba ng formal declaration from Malacañang?
Sa reading ko kasi, state of national emergency is hereby declared over the entire country. So, yan ang binigay ng Kongreso, itong pinirmahan ni Pangulo. So, it's already a common policy between Congress and the executive that we are now under a state of national emergency, the entire country.
Okay. Sir, from Vange Fernandez of Police Files, for Secretary Anyo, alam niyo po ba na may mga pili lang po ang binibigyan ng kapitan namin ng mga groceries? Pare-pareho lang naman kami na apektado ng COVID-19 na yan, lalo na yung mga nanay namin, senior, may sakit pa, dapat priority po nila yon dahil may sakit. Tapos kami, wala ding trabaho yung mga kapitbahay namin. Nabigyan kami na hindi, ang unfair naman po yata. Dapat magiging fair sila, tao din naman po kami na nagpapapicture sila. After mabigyan, kaya lang po hindi lahat meron, kahit bigas lang po.
Hindi tama yan. Yan yung mga tinatawag nating EPAL na mga barangay captain. I-report nyo sa amin ang pangalan, anong barangay, action na natin yan. No? At saka hindi rin requirement yung voter's ID na para bigyan ka ng quarantine pass o bigyan ka ng food assistance. No? Hindi malayo pa ang election, kalimutan yung election. But what you're doing now will be the basis of the people whether you'll be elected or not in the next election. Tandaan nyo yan.
Okay. Sir, from Chris Mundo of Philippine News Agency, anong take ng government sa Avigan? Are we considering to import Avigan? And follow up na rin about the test kits developed by UP, how the government will support these home-developed test kits?
Yung sa UP, if I'm not mistaken, they're already doing field implementation. No? So from field trial, nasa field implementation na po sila. And if I'm not mistaken, yung field implementation is, I think they're ready to do field implementation at 26,000. Yan ang alam kong plano. I don't know if they've already actually done it already. No? Kasi from field trials, they go to the next level, which is field implementation. I think the best person to ask there would be DOST.
Follow-up, sir. Some studies said that multiple lockdowns in the next 18 months is possible to get the crisis under control. If this will continue, are we looking at extended lockdown or lifting the lockdown, then the government will impose another rounds of lockdown in the coming months?
I think we take it one day at a time. Masyado pang maaga pa yan. No? I think instead of looking at that, I think we just really just have to concentrate on yung social distancing measure, kung ano yung nasa guidelines na, cooperate na tayo. So dito muna tayo, focus muna tayo at the task on hand. Saka na natin isipin yan. Anyway, we've been very transparent naman in terms of the infection rate, yung mga na-infect, yung mga positive cases. So kayo mismo nakikita ninyo yung numero at in your own minds na-assess ninyo yung situation yourselves, no? So kami rin, we do the same thing, no, with all of the experts, epidemiologists, Department of Health, and then we're looking at all the aspects, syempre, of governance. Kaya one day at a time. One day at a time.
Sir, from DWIZ, Joe Pelpelenyo, more than 2 weeks na lamang po ay magtatapos na ang 1-month implementation ng Enhanced Community Quarantine. Kakayanin po ba, sir, na makontain ang virus sa loob ng nalalabing mahigit 2 linggo?
Kaya nga po, we're doing everything that we can, no? Hopefully with this law passed and with the setup now, the new setup now, and then following the National Action Plan, then we can move faster. We can double up our efforts even more. We can get more people and more resources. We can mobilize more people and more resources. Tingnan po natin. We'll take it one step at a time.
For Yusek Vergere from Eileen Taliping of Abante, may isang ospital po sa lungsod ng Maynila, kinukulang na ng health workers dahil halos naka-quarantine na sila lahat. Ano po ang magagawa ng DOH para maalalayan ang ospital para maasikaso ang mga COVID patients na naka-confine doon?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, good afternoon. Meron po tayong mga minamapa na ngayon ng mga kung ilan ang mga apektado natin mga healthcare workers sa bawat ospital na meron tayo, both public and private, in the whole country. Meron na rin po tayo ngayong inilunsad na voluntary program for health workers na gustong tumulong sa ating gobyerno para mabigyan natin ng lunas o matugunan natin yung kakulangan.
Okay, medyo balikan natin si si Yusek Vergere, mahina yata yung connection niya. Okay. Okay, sir. May Okay, may isa pang tanong from Tino Mendez of Philippine Star.
Sir, sa Section 4, letter H, on the power given to the President to direct the operation of any privately owned hospitals and medical facilities, etc. At what point can the government take over the operation of these privately owned hospitals?
Siguro we will rely on the experts, no, on the ground. DOH will make and our task group on response, task group on resource, and then they will report either directly to the president or they will seek guidance from the IATF, and then magde-decide ang Pangulo. Because it's just really a matter of yung resources and then yung situation on the ground. Obviously, you will need to ano yung word na ginamit? Hindi take over tinanggal na yung to direct
the operation.
Direct the operation. You will need to direct the operation when you need the resource. So it's on a need basis
May add. Well, gradually ay i-apply na natin yan. Like for example, initially, kailangan natin i-house yung mga frontline health workers natin malapit sa hospital. So, yan naman ay kasama sa priority natin. Para hindi na nagko-commute yung ating mga frontliners, diyan na sila malapit sa vicinity ng hospital. Secondly, of course, we are accounting our PUIs na nag-aantay ng test result. Dapat sa mga ito ay hindi na talaga, dapat isolate mo na ito. So probably we will start looking with the IATF's effort, facilities where we can put PUIs and probably even asymptomatic positive cases para maiwalay na sila. Not necessarily hotel ito Pwede itong arena, gymnasium, yung mga ganong klaseng facilities. So, para hindi na sila makapaghawa. So, progressively, we will use that provision of the law. Of course, based on the assessment and recommendation of the IATF to the President.
Sir, yung resources, meaning yung doctors, pwedeng hiramin, i-deploy sa ibang hospital o quarantine areas. Anong ibig sabihin nun, sir?
Well, that's why gumawa na tayo ng National Action Plan. Yung IATF, which is actually in charge of policy making, yung mag-implement niyan, ito ng National Task Force COVID. So, diyan sa response, dalawang main job diyan, yung health response at saka public order. So, doon na yung kung kinakailangan natin ng mag-focus, concentrate ng resources at ng manpower sa ganito. So, meron na tayo ngayong tinatawag ng mga task group na magpapatupad ng mga policies na inilabas ng IATF. Kasama na rin yan kung based on our assessment, kailangan na natin even our reservists, tatawagin na natin. So, para makapagdagdag ng maraming doktor.
Sir, right now there are at least 3 or 4 private hospitals who announced they cannot anymore accept COVID patients. Full capacity.
Full na sila.
Anong relevance nito provision na to? Pag gagamitin ng Pangulo? Ipupush ba silang anong pwedeng gawin?
Well, sabi nga, siguro ang makakasagot ay si Yusek Roset. Pero in these times kasi, kailangan na natin ng stricter implementation itong mga response natin. Like for example nga, yung ating pag-designate ng COVID, yung strategy nila, tutulong lang kami kung paano i-implement yan.
Siguro tanungin natin si Yusek Vergere.
Yusek?
With regard to these which have announced that they have their capacity, specifically, I think 3 or 4 hospitals already did that. Unang-una po, tayo po, alam po natin ang sitwasyon ng ating mga private hospitals because when the surge ng mga pasyente po, nung tumaas ang mga kaso, nag-umpisa, talagang flinak po ang ating mga private hospital. So now we are announcing and we are encouraging all of those Filipinos na meron po yung mga kababayan po natin na may mga simptomas ngayon, severe, belonging to vulnerable group, pwede po kayong pumunta sa ating mga government hospitals, equally capable po ang ating mga gobyernong ospital, meron pa po tayong mga kwarto doon. Antayin lang po natin na ma-stabilize po natin itong ating mga numero na mga nagpupunta sa ospital at antayin din po natin na isapatupad natin ang pagbubukas ng referral hospitals natin. Hopefully, by the end of the week or over the weekend, para ma-funnel po natin ang mga pasyente, eventually ma-decongest ang mga hospitals. Ngayon po, dito po sa mga pag-uutos ng ating Presidente regarding this new Republic Act, dyan po natin pag-uusapan together with other national agencies kung paano natin to better direct our private hospitals, kung ano po ang mga dapat na maitulong nila sa atin. Ngunit meron na po tayong pagpupulong sa kanila, constant coordination, kung saan tinutulungan nila tayo. Ang kanilang commitment, pag na-funnel na lahat ng mga pasyente or most of the patients sa ating mga referral hospitals, sila naman po ang tatanggap ng mga non-COVID patients. Sila po ang tatanggap ng mga serbisyong hindi na naisagawa dito sa referral hospitals natin kasi po naging COVID-19 hospital na sila.
Okay. Yusek, last question for Yusek Vergere from Maricel Halili.
Hi, Yusek. Magandang hapon po. Follow-up lang po. Kasi kanina na-confirm that Senator Pimentel is COVID-19 positive and may kumakalat din po sa social media na prior to that, mukhang he visited an OB doon sa isang hospital because understandably his wife is about to give birth. And considering that he's already a PUI, nagkaroon po ba ng violation doon si Senator?
Wala po kaming nare-receive pa na information about the chronology or the history of his whereabouts when he was declared a patient under investigation. I'm not really sure po, or is it accurate to say that he was PUI or PUM? Did he exhibit symptoms during the time that he went to the hospital? Was it really that he was classified as a PUM when he interacted ba po, direct close contact to this doctor when he went to that hospital? We need to find out all of these things for us to be able to give you an accurate answer. But for now, we will have this verified and we will be responding to you in the next days kapag nakuha na po natin ang informasyon.
Yusek, do we have figures lang po as to how many PUIs and PUMs we have nationwide?
Sa ngayon po, it's not, we will receive the information by 4 p.m. What we have right now is what we had yesterday. We already have about 6,000 PUMs, persons under monitoring, and about 2,800 patients under investigation. So in total, if we look at those two numbers, we are basically monitoring about almost 9,000 persons already.
Thank you, Sep.
Thank you, Yusek Vergere. Clarification, yung katanungan ni Vanch Fernandez ay galing daw po ito sa pinapatanong ng netizen. Okay, last two questions from Kat Valente of Manila Times. Kailan daw po magte-take effect ang Bayanihan Law and when can the people get the amelioration benefits and how?
I think this is, it says here immediately upon publication. So, since napirmahan ito ni Pangulo, I would think that it should be published today, if not tomorrow, and then upon its publication, it's immediately effective. Yung sa social amelioration, gaya ng sinabi ko, meron bang huling pasada, may last pass lang po today na ginagawa ng technical working group. Then tomorrow, magpipirmahan na daw tomorrow, sabi ni Sec Anyo. Then they'll present to the IATF, then we'll launch immediately.
Kailan daw, sir, maibibigay yung cash aid sa mga tao?
Yung cash aid, that's, ayoko pangunahan, no? Yung mga pipirma ng JMC. But based dun sa presentation kasi sa akin, sa amin, sa IATF kahapon, I think ang unahin nga muna is the food assistance first. And then yung cash aid to follow.
Okay. Sir, from Raquel Bayan of Radyo Pilipinas, tama po ba na dibigyan ng food assistance ng barangay ang isang residente na nagrerenta lamang o kalilipat lamang sa community?
Dito sa pagbibigay ng assistance, wala naman tayong pipiliin dito. Kung kaya ng resources, bigyan natin yung ating mga kababayan kahit yan ay hindi taga riyan. Kasi hindi pa pwede naman na dahil hindi siya, kasi may mga instance, no? Itong tao ay nagwo-work sa ganitong lugar pero nakatira sa ganitong barangay, pero inabutan na siya ng lockdown dito, so hindi na siya umuwi sa barangay, pakainin pa rin natin yon, no? Meron tayong resources, ibigay natin sa ating mga tao.
Sir, follow-up from Tricia Terada of CNN Philippines. Will all of this refusal of hospitals to accept patients trigger government takeover of private medical facilities under extra powers law?
Nasa batas naman po yan, no? Of course, we don't want to use those powers. Hindi naman yan takeover, no? Yung direct lang, yung direct the operations of. Yun naman nakalagay dyan. But obviously, we need all the resources we can get. At lahat naman makukuha sa pagkikipag-usap eh. Hindi naman ito immediately pasok ang gobyerno. Hindi naman po ganyan ang gobyerno. Makikipag-ugnayan, makikipag-usap po tayo, no? At alam ko naman ng mga Pilipino matulungin ang ating mga Pilipino. Lahat ng ating mga kababayan, we're all here to help. Lahat gustong tumulong. So I don't think there will be a problem. Itong nakalagay sa batas is just in case, no? Nilalagay lang natin dyan just to emphasize the urgency. But kilala ko ang mga Pilipino, tayo lahat. Everybody wants to help. Lahat tayo nagsasama-sama dito sa laban na to, sa digmaang ito. Kaya hindi naman siguro kailangan pumunta pa doon. Everybody wants to help. Lahat po gustong tumulong. So, magtulungan na lang po tayong lahat.
Okay, sir, yan po yung huling katanungan. May panghuling mensahe po ba kayo, Secretary Nograles at Secretary Anyo?
Siguro I join Secretary Anyo and the rest of the team, no? Na, again, emphasizing na tayong mga Pilipino, tayong magkakampi dito. Lahat tayo magkakampi dito kontra at laban sa COVID-19. Sa digmaang ito, ang gusto lang nating talunin yung COVID-19. Hindi po ang isa't isa. Lahat po tayo magtulungan. Lahat po tayo magsama-sama. Yung frontliners po natin, nandyan po sila. Nakaset up na po sila. Ang mga frontliners are doing their best. Sa mga frontliners po natin, yung mga bayani po, ang mga tunay na bayani ng bansang Pilipinas, wag po kayong mag-alala. Nandito kami para suportahan, para tulungan kayo. Alam namin, we're constantly monitoring lahat ng ginagawa ninyo at gumagawa kami ng hakbang para matulungan kayo, no? In terms of resources, in terms of manpower, in terms of equipment. Concentrate on saving lives. Kami na lang po bahala maghanap ng paraan na masuportahan po kayong lahat. At yung hindi naman pong frontliners, the contribution that you can give in this war against COVID-19, stay at home. Huwag mag-spread ng fake news. Suportahan natin ang lahat ng mga nagsasakripisyo para dito. Give your sacrifice also, no? Yung sakripisyo ninyo. Stay at home. Bahay muna, buhay muna. Yan po ang panawagan namin sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po. And God bless us all.
Secretary.
Well, first, gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa ating mga senators and congressmen sa pagpasa ng Bayanihan Act. In just one day na ipasa nila yung batas, napatunayan nila na kaya pala talaga kapag nagkakaisa at para sa kabutihan ng bansa. So talagang I really praise our senators and congressmen for really a job well done. Tapos, of course, we salute our health workers, no, our frontliners. We will do everything to support you so that you can do your job. At sa ating mga pulis, sundalo, na mga nagmaman sa mga checkpoints, sumasaludo rin ako sa inyo. At sa ating mga local government officials, ang ating mga governors, mayors, barangay captain, maraming binabas pero gawin nyo lang yung trabaho ninyo and we will save this country. And of course, our national government na talagang since day one ay nandito na. And for our countrymen and women, just do your patriotic act. Stay at home. No more, no less. Just stay at home. And God bless us all.
Thank you, Secretary Anyo. Thank you, Secretary Nograles at kay Yusek Vergere. Maraming salamat, Malacañang Press Corps, RTVM at PTV. Diyan po nagtatapos ang atin pong IATF Laging Handa Virtual Presser.